Hey guys, it's Dave. Welcome back. Well, in today's episode, I want to actually go back a step from everything that had happened in our last episode. We were moving pretty fast. Well, for two reasons. One, I wanted to make sure we had enough time to get through everything. And number two, I wanted to make sure that my thought process was going to be able to go all the way through it too. And as it worked out, it worked perfectly and we didn't have any snags. But an awful lot was going on in the process of going from one level to another. So what I want to do is kind of walk you through again everything that has to happen from the point that we click this button. Oh, that was the wrong one. This one? Yeah. From the time that we click this button to the time that we are ready to start the next level. Okay? So let's just take a look at what we did. It was actually a 5-step process. So we'll do a little bit of renaming of the rules to kind of help that out. Okay? So if we go in here, the first one we did was this one here, this start next level, which set up just a couple of variables in the beginning. And if you remember, we're using this status variable to do a bunch of things, okay? So if you remember, this is over here, this is green, right? And then this is up, okay? So, this little box has to look like the button, right? The status would normally be win when we get to this point, right? And then they click. And then again, a bunch of things that we're able to set before leaving this, we can do this, okay? And we won't go through everything here, but this is everything that has to be done, all right? So we're actually going to say new level 1 of 5, okay? And that's what would happen there, all right? The second thing we did was on this frame. And you notice we've got 2, but it was this one here. Okay, so again, let's use the same naming. New level 2 of 5. Okay, and again, it's using this status to figure out when to go. So, when we were up here, it set it to next. This rule catches it, does what it needs to do, and then sets it to start. Okay, and again, this gets it black and also puts it on the new stage. Okay, so we will make it black, and we'll actually hop over to level 1 so that we can see it would have put it here. Okay, all right, now level 3 actually was not the frame just yet, but it was this little button. So I'll leave this one open. And it was this one here. So again, we're going to say new level 3 of 5. Okay, and this is the one that sets all the major global variables to get ready for the new level. Okay. Then we came here back to this frame, and I can actually close this one down. That's this one, and this was new level 4 of 5, which simply repositions it to get ready for the next level. All right, and then the last one had to do with making sure that our new little guy, the fly, gets positioned where he's supposed to be, 5 of 5. Okay, so that'll help make figuring out what's going on a little bit easier. Now, if we want to continue making this a little better, it's a 5-step process, but did you notice they're not all on the same character, you see? So we've got 1, we've got 2, where do we put 3? We did the button. we did this, 3 would have been on, oh, the dot. The dot. So we've got 4 different characters involved in setting up a new level. Okay, and again, even though the numbering is helping us figure it out, just like I couldn't remember where that last character was for just one rule, okay, we'll make use of another little trick. This little guy here lets us create notes, okay, so we can actually say 2 frame, 3 dot, 4 frame, and 5 fly. And I'll actually copy this. Okay, whoops. Oh, shoot. Luckily I copied it, okay. We can do similar things over here, okay, to just give us a little bit more information, all right. So on this one here, we have to include 1 was on wall, and we don't need to do the fly because we're in the fly, okay. So we've got that. So we'll just do this, and I'll actually do both. Okay, so if we come over here again, 1 was the wall. Okay, 2 in this case we don't need to worry about. 3 was the dot. 4 we don't have to worry about because we're staring right at it, right? And 5. And then up here you've got 1 was the wall. Again, 2 we don't have to worry about. 3 was the dot. We're in number 4. And 5 was the fly. And then the last one is over here. And again, 1 is the wall. 2 is the frame. This time we don't need 3 because we're in it. And then 4 is the frame. Okay? So these little notes will help us to figure out the proper order that things are supposed to happen in. Okay? All right, so that kind of ties up and kind of reviews a little bit everything that was going on in that last episode. All right? And then if you remember, everything starts on a title screen. So we're actually going to do today's work over here on this title screen. And we'll switch this back. Okay? And I noticed we had set it to 599, which is kind of funny because the 9 is next to the 0. So let's put that back to 500. Okay. I want to create some information up here, kind of like just some directions maybe. And I think I want this to go down a fair bit. So that's 2, what do we got? 3, 4, maybe 5. I think that should be good. Okay. And I think what we'll do is we'll come up to Special and we'll grab a text object and we'll place it here. I'm going to turn the grid on. It'll sort of make it easier. Now, these things are weird. You can actually come and grab it here and kind of resize it. But it doesn't snap to the grid. So what I'm going to try to do is kind of eyeball it and then get the hand, double click the text object, and I'll come down here and then we'll take a look at it. Notice it says the height is 4.8, which is actually 5. So if I change that to 5, watch, see how it hops in? This is 19.9, which is actually 20. And there we go. And then for now, let's just make the background color transparent. And we'll get rid of the border. Okay? So now we've got this nice big text box. And then what I want to do is open up a second sim. because I had created a copy of the game that we're working on so that I could figure out the wordings that we wanted to use here. And I'm noticing when I compare, we had this. See, I kind of created a little level, but we'll do our own in a minute. But really, I want to come in here and just copy this text and paste it over here. Okay. Then we'll close this one, and we don't have to save. Okay. So now we'll see if we can't get back in here. So now what we can do here. First of all, let's boldface it. And where is our size? Right here. Let's try 16. 16 looks pretty good. What if we went to 14? There we go. And if we did height, where's height? Height is right here. What if we said 4 for the height? Okay. So now we should be able to get rid of some of these blocks. There we go. Just to kind of give it a different look. So you can see here, using your arrow keys, can you navigate your way to the exit? That's the little E, right? E for exit. Watch your step and watch the fly so you don't get framed. Now again, we're not describing what that means. You know, when it happens, you know, remember, that's being framed. It'll actually say you've got framed, right? So we don't have to give them that information. They'll figure it out. Too hard, press E for easy mode or H for hard mode. When you get framed, you can either press C to cheat and take back your last move, which you can only do once, or press R to reset the level. Make it to the exit and you can move on to the next level. Can you solve the level in the stated goal number of moves and within the stated amount of time? Good luck. You see that? All right, so I think I might just do a little bit of stuff there. Now I moved this over, but I think I'm going to put it over here again. I'm trying to, we got rid of the level on this title screen, and I'm wondering, all right, now if we just turn certain things on here, I think where's cheated? Okay, so really that's as much as we've got. I'm thinking nowhere on this game so far have we given ourselves credit, and even when you saw that I opened up the test one that I used in the background, it didn't have that in there either. So what I think I'm going to do is maybe take another little text object and let me think about this. Okay, so we could actually make this whoops, come on, 1 block wider, and then created by Stagecast Dave. How about that? And then let's see what kind of good luck we could have here. Do you notice when we look at this, there's a lot of white space above the word created and then barely any below the words here? That's these offsets. There's an offset X and an offset Y. The Y is up and down. So if I change that to a 0, notice it comes up a little bit. So what I think I want to do is maybe make it a 2. There we go. And then this time I think what I want to do is say center it. Oops. Okay. And again, did you notice it didn't center the entire thing? And I think it's because you have to... Oh, I see. Yeah, that seems to be a limitation here. It centers the top line, but not the bottom line. So we're going to have to kind of add some spaces in there to make that happen. Okay, what else could we do? Let's try bold and see if that's a little too dark. Well, that seems pretty good. All right, let's get rid of the border. Let's get rid of the background color. And then what color would be good to make it stand out? We've been using yellow in certain places, so I think we could just do that. Yeah. There we go. So frame squared created by Stagecast Dave. And then we have these three here that we need, and then this space here for the two buttons that are going to pop out. So now that leaves us with this area down here. So if I just move the fly out of the way, and I move this guy right here, I can create just a little level in here using those techniques that I already pointed out to you. And I think I'm going to try something weird like this. This is different than the one that I did in the other file here. So 3, and we'll come right down here. There. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to work, this little hump that I put in here. That's something new. I just want to see. All right. I'm going to leave this alone. That's going to screw us up in a minute, but I want to see if we can't get it so that they actually have to do a little up jog to win. So maybe I have to make it come down a little bit. We'll see. So, you know, they would come up, then they would come over. Yeah, so this one's going to have to go. But I do want them to make an up jog. So I think what I'll do is I'll grab a pink one, put it right here. And if I add another couple of pink ones, I'll just put them down here for now. We could do stuff like this. I'm going to leave that one there. And we'll just do something like this. Okay. So this is going to tell us that he can come along here. He can't go down. Can't go down. Now, when he gets here, he can't. See, so he's going to have to come up. But again, that's going to cause a problem. So what could we do here? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. There we go. So this is going to be interesting because there's no dot here. But he can't go down. He could go backwards. He can't go this way. He could come up. Can't go back this way. See? So this is going to help us do that. And then this one down here is so that he can't go this way as well. Okay. We don't really need this one here because this dot will take care of it. I'll get rid of this dot. All right. So that'll put us over here. And then let us create a few more pink ones. Let's see, I'll put one up here. We could come down. Can't move. We could come down. We're going to take care of this guy. This time we'll put him. How about right here? Okay. Framed, framed, framed here. That's good. Now he could do this, and he could come up. And I think I'm going to leave these two here because if he came up, look, can't do it, can't do it, can't do it, and up. So now I can grab those two. So when he gets here, he can't come over. You see that? All right, so that would mean he would have to come over here. And actually, let's put another one down on the bottom. All right, and these two will cause us so that when I come up here, framed, 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 framed. Okay, and then again, I'm going to leave this open in case he wants to come up and get goofed up. And then again, framed, framed, framed here, and then I'll take that one off. All right, so then we just got a couple more just to fill in the gaps. Which I think would be good. You see that? All right, so I'm going to put this back here. Whoops. We're going to actually, do we still have that rule? Yes, we do. All right, let's put playing in here. There we go. All right, I'm going to turn this rule off again and move this to the top. I'm going to leave this here for later, and I'll tell you why later on. Okay, so now we've got this little mini level going on. Now, before we do the fly, we want to be able to say which one of these dots should be visible when we're in easy mode. Okay, and since most of our levels have 3, we'll do that. So we came up, we came over, we came up, we came over. I don't want to make this easy because that's part of the puzzle. I think we'll do this one easy, down, over, up, and then actually we'll take one of these and make it easy. All right. So now let's run another check here. Let's see. It'll close all these. And before we well, let's do this. How about this? We'll make the fly go east from 1, 4. 1, 4. Right? So we can't go this way. We have to go this way, but we'll have to wait for the fly to get out of the way. And because of this guy, he could go bang, bang. So, it's very possible that as he's moving up, he comes in and gets us, you see. All right, so let's run a test here. Let's see, move 0. We're on hard. Our goal is 100. Our time is 500. 1, 3 all the way through. We're on playing, so everything looks good there. Okay. All right, let's hit play. All right, our timer's going. Our fly is moving. See, he did jump. You see that? Let's see if he does it again. All right, that time he goes on. Let's try hard, easy. Okay, let's keep it on easy and make sure that those are the correct ones. Okay, so we do got to come over here. We do got to come over here. Yep, those are the good ones. You see? And then as we, boom, see that? And then that would launch us to level 1, you see? Okay, all right, so I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm just rewinding here. There we go. All right, this guy goes back here. He becomes black. This guy comes over here. He's facing east. Got to tell it he's facing east. What else? This has got to go back to purple. This has got to go back to playing. Go back to 0, 500. Hard, which means no and no. And 1, 3. 1, 3. There we go. All right, what do we got? 6 minutes left. There's our title screen. And the title screen is now giving us a little program to play around with, a little maze for them to get used to the game. They can test out the reset. Oh, we're going to have to do reset. That'll be our next episode. They can also do cheat if they need to. All right. So I think what we'll do is we'll get started on one last level that we'll call end screen. Okay. And we're going to put that here. Let's see, that's going to take some work, so we're going to hold off on that for a minute. I've been giving it some thought. Right now, this version of the game is programmed for 12 levels, but we could make as many levels as we want. And getting to this end screen is going to be dependent upon clicking that green congratulations button when we're on the last level. Okay? But here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to create one last global variable. And as it turns out, this is going to be perfect because it's right next door. And I'm simply going to call this levels. And really, the only thing it's going to do is hold how many levels there are total. So my version has 12 levels. If you only made 10, set it to 10. But we're going to use this in a check to see, did I click that congratulations button when level was equal to levels? And if it is, then it's not going to do the same thing that all the other rules do to go to the next level, because it's going to take us to this end screen, you see? And we're going to make this kind of interesting too, all right? So I think what we'll do is split the screen. We'll pull our end screen over here. And we don't have tons of time, but we can do this. On this one, we want to get rid of all the regular pieces. Okay, we'll take framed and put it right in the middle. We'll even get rid of start and end. Okay, we want this guy to go in the middle. And here's something I was toying around with. I just want to make it, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I got one extra. Did you ever play Solitaire from Microsoft? And, you know, you win the game of Solitaire and it always has some kind of a weird, you know, little graphic that shows up because, you know, you won the game. So that's what I want to do here is just create some silly little thing. Actually, let's do this. Just to give them a little bit of eye candy to look at the very end. Okay, whoops. So then we'll just make sure that these are all programmed correctly. This should be going south. Okay. And I don't have to worry about those other ones. These are just to get them moving. This should be going east. This should be going north, west, north, south. Okay, I'm recording, honey. East, north. I think I'm going to run out of rules here. West. Bye, honey. And west. Okay, good. So now we'll close these down. And then I think somehow we should say, you know, you win or something like that. So how could we do that? Let's see. Characters. Let's bring out a dot. What if we spelled out something like you win? Let's see. Let's move you over one. I don't know how good this will look. This is just toying around here. Does that look like a Y? That's not too bad. 1, 2. No, I'm actually looking at that. You know what? Let's put him up here. We'll see where he's got to go on the next level. What is that, 2? Let's turn this grid on. It looks like 1 in between. Okay. So I think we're going to have to do, if I make it look pointed, I think it'll look like a V, which is not what we want. So do you think maybe we should have a blocky looking O? Something like that. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's okay. All right, so that's okay. And then we'll skip. We got 1, 2 up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What if we went? What? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're almost out of time. We're less than a minute. But I want to see if we can finish spelling out win. And this one's going to have to be a little wider because it's a W. The W and the N actually might be kind of big. I don't know. That's pretty huge. All right, can we make it? No, I don't think we can. I think it has to be that way. Okay, you know what we'll do though? We'll make the eye just straight like that. And then let's see what we can do with an N. And we just hit the 30 minute mark, so let's see what we can do. All right, can I do this? How's that? You win. That's right on, that's right on. What do you think? Maybe make these pink? Might that look nice? And again, we can turn off the grid. We could do that. All right. Now when they get taken to this level, all the rules are still running, which means I'm going to have to set all of these dots to easy. So I'm going to do that off camera, okay? And then let me finish all these, and before we say goodbye, we'll take a look at where should we put the frame. You know, this is not a regular level, so really there's you know, he could squeak in here, but that's about it. He's blocked here. He can't come up here. So, you know, we could make him move over here. We could make him move over here. Actually, what if we put him up in that corner, since I don't think we have too many levels where we're up here. Okay? So if they make it past our last level, it would say congratulations. They'd click it. Our frame would immediately come to this position. These will all get set to easy, you know, so we'll have to double click and set this to easy for all of the different, whoops, not capital, all the dots that we would like to appear as pink, right? And then maybe down here, a button that says play again or something like that. I don't know. Okay, maybe two buttons, play again and quit. We could do something like that. Okay? But I think before we finish this one, I want to work on correcting that reset rule that I believe is in here. Yeah, remember we turned it off because it wasn't working? So our next episode is going to fix reset, which I don't think will take too long. And then maybe we'll come back and we'll finish this one. Okay? And actually, that might be our very last episode for this game. All right? All right, so until next time, this is Dave. This is Stagecast and Frame Squared. If you haven't seen the website yet, check it out, dotterin.com/SC for Stagecast. Every game that we create is going to be able to be played online from that website as well. So if you want to give it a shot, you can. Right now, the Click Space game, which was the one we did in the evaluation version, is actually up and ready to be played. I got a new idea that I think I'll do for our next project, where every episode I'll put a version of the Stagecast file downloadable so that you can see the progress we make and actually download it that way, okay? But we'll talk more about that when that one comes, all right? Okay, so until next time, have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.